So where this journey started for me was I'm not having kids. Okay.
Yeah.
And like knowing that and being good with it and like following child-free things on like the Instagram and like
Oh yeah.
I'm good with this. And then, well, okay, so that was part one. And part two is I'm in a relationship with a woman. Okay. And feel like I have left behind dating men. Like I'm
Hmm.
kind of done with that phase of my life and like I'm with
Hmm.
this woman, I'm not having kids, like this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Then in 2022, my mantra for the year was the year of inner abundance. Okay.
Mm.
And like that was my intention was like, I
Yeah.
want to embody abundance. I want to know what that means to like own it inside myself, not money in a bank account, not your house is
But
paid
just
for.
there
Like,
is enough. It's a mindset. Yeah.
yes, like it's in my cells, this abundance.
Yeah.
And I attracted somebody who taught me how to meditate in a way where I finally could. And that was amazing. And I had this like 6 week long emotional release of like all this congested shit that was in my body,
Yeah.
crying my own personal tears and the collective's tears, like
Hmm.
so many tragedies that humans have persecuted on each other that just still live in our cells. Um,
Yeah.
and it was a couple months after that. So like I learned how to meditate in February. In June, I started traveling to the astral realm in my
Ooh.
sleep. And I didn't know a thing about that. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
have any conscious knowledge that that was even a place, that this was even an option. I just started
Yeah.
going there. And it felt like inner abundance. It felt like being full of just love and knowing and power and wisdom and like just all all good. Like everything about it was amazing. And
Yeah.
every time I would go, it would like the way I knew I was there, I would like wake up felt like every 5 minutes and like come up out of sleep and then go right back into it. And when I would wake up consciously, I'd be like, this is so fucking amazing. Like, holy shit, these messages are intense and so profound. And I know everything in the whole universe. And then I would wake up in the morning and it'd be like two words that I would get to like actually bring back with me. But those little teeny messages started adding up and like again, like stacking up inside me, like the building blocks of inner abundance.
Yeah.
And a few months after that, I met a soul in the astral and we had mind blowing, spine melting, soul melting sex. Like, and I knew it was a man. I just like, that was just obvious.
And this was on astral.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I woke up from that in bed next to my girlfriend. And I'm like, stop. Like, stop that. Like, no, no, no. A week later, it happened again. The second time I was a tiny bit more open to it. Like, well, I mean, it was like fucking amazing. So, there's that. And like, I've never felt like that with an actual man. Like, this was something that was so different than anything I've
Yeah.
ever experienced. And I journal every morning. And it took probably like 6 times of having this experience with him in the astral before I ever wrote it on the page, before I would ever like consciously admit to
Acknowledge.
myself that like this is happening. Holy fucking shit. Like, I don't know what this is, but it was the same soul. And it was like a couple times a week for like a month. And
Yeah.
what is this? So that was the fall of 2022.
Mhm.
And a few months later, I was in meditation. This one was an awake meditation. And this just like overwhelming love came over me. And this is like
Mm.
February 2023-ish. And she's like, "Hi, mama." And I was like, what?
And you just know you feel that love, or
Yeah.
like the maternal love when you connect with them, right? And that's how you know that's your spirit babies, because you feel that
Oh
shit in your
my
like on
God.
a quantum soul level. Yeah.
It's
That's how
undeniable.
I felt with my Harvey when he came to see me. And then I knew I had to be a mom.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yes.
if once you feel that, you just chase that dragon of where the fuck is my kid?
Where is she?
That's
Yeah. Yeah. And
she's coming.
she introduced herself, and the first thing she told me was, I'm choosing you, because she got to the heart of like my biggest fear
Yeah.
around like why I had been so certain I'm not having kids, because
Hmm.
it was easy to say I'm not having kids. The underlying shit was I don't trust myself to be a mom, and not
Mm.
just like
I trust
deeply.
you.
I trust
Yeah.
myself now, and she
Yeah.
has got me there. Um, and she
But she
basically,
trusted you. She knew.
yes, yes. She's like, no, 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 I want you. Like that thing that you think is wrong with you, that's why I'm picking you.
So if I can
And I was
speak
just
to
like, oh
that,
my God.
right? I come across that so much in my work where I actually want to make some kind of a reel or something that I put out about it, because I felt it too, but where you question before you actually get your baby in your arms, you question like, God, am I like good enough for this
Yeah,
little perfect person who seems to just love me and believe in me that I can
yeah,
be this like person they want and need? And I just want to say, fuck yes. Fuck yes. You are. Fuck
yes,
yes, you are. And she chose you. And I just want people to know if your spirit being is communicating with you, they fucking chose you.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
for a reason. You don't have
Mm,
to be perfect. All you gotta do is just be you.
yes,
That's why they chose you. They
yeah,
don't want some perfect type. I'm also saying this to me right now. They don't want some perfect type A mom who like, my background is in psych, so I always want to like validate my kid and, cut, see the perfect calm thing or whatever and try to regulate myself first. And I'm never going to be fucking perfect, but I will always repair and I'll always try so hard for my kid. I think the number one thing that boomer parents are missing and why they're so like, oh my God, why are my kids like going no contact shit? Because they don't know how to repair. It's because they won't
mm,
fucking repair with their children.
mm.
So as long as we repair, we're good.
Dude, there's so many things, so many things.
Yeah.
So yes,
But fuck yes, you are
that
so
was her
enough. She
first
chose you.
message. I chose you. I want you. I want you in your strength. I want you in your weakness or your deficiencies or whatever the fuck you think they are. Like it's all
Yeah.
exactly what I want and what I need for my path. So
Yeah.
like
And
let me
sometimes they're
choose
working
you.
on that same shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God.
And
And
I don't
so
know how much you feel like sharing, but your daughter's gonna be on a really similar path, which we
mm,
found out only moments ago.
oh
So
my God. Which by the way, I'll be booking a whole reading
which,
with
by the
Kimmie.
way,
Yeah, which by the way, it's
like
like
I
which
can't wait.
I had already
Okay.
downloaded something like very similar about like the powerful work that she is coming here to do, and the the safety. Like I mean, if you talk to people who listen to my channel regularly, like I'm preaching on the inner safety like over and over and over again. And like that
Emotional
is
safety. Yeah.
the one thing that she needs more than anything is just a safe
Yeah.
space to be herself, to like be allowed to be all of it. Her sensitive,
Yeah.
mystical, psychic, intuitive, emotional,
Messy sometimes.
oh
Yeah.
my
Big
God, big,
emotions, all that
sensitive
stuff.
hearted self. She's so sweet. And she's got big feelings. And like she needs to be allowed to have them. She needs
Yeah.
to be in a safe space to have every bit of it. And so, yeah,
Hmm.
like, oh, so, so beautiful. Um, and it was incredible. And I know you talk about this on your channel too, about how like they know how to guide you. Like they're one of your spirit guides. You know, they
They
know how
are.
to,
They're like an angel. You can ask for help.
yeah,
Absolutely. And it's weird because they're going to be your child. People think of this hierarchical relationship that we have with authority here on, Earth side, where it's like we're in charge. I'm the parent, which is kind of like reminiscent of boomery parent culture that we're all kind of untying and undoing. um, where it's like, how could a child know more than me? Well, first of all, they're on the other side. So they just have this perspective that is like full and whole
Mhm.
that we don't
Mhm.
have here.
Yeah.
Even like more perspective than even the most gifted medium that I can think of, which is probably Tyler Henry. He's my favorite.
Mm.
I love him
Mhm.
forever.
Yes.
Um, but like even the most gifted medium, they can see more because they have the full scope of the picture. And I have to remind myself of that all the time with my spirit baby girl because she's like trying to come through, and me and my partner are like, God, let's just get our son to 3. Can we just like wait till then? Because yeah, it's hard. Your kids when they come and you allow them to feel all the big things, I'm not gonna lie, for those of us that are doing the work, there's an initial triggering if you were never allowed to have big emotions. But like I
Yeah.
have had to work through, my partner has had to work through. It's like, that shit will still come up where it's like,
Mm.
but I've already noticed you have an incredible amount of self-awareness,
Mm.
and you are going to be able to just rock that and give her exactly what she needs.
You're so sweet. You're so sweet and so affirming and so encouraging, and it's medicinal. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank
Thank you
you.
for that. Um, so yeah, I love that idea, that and that concept, that like fact that she is my guide. She has taken me through more healing than any other guide I've ever worked with. Um, and so that was the first time I met her. She told me, I chose you. And I was just a
Mm.
mess, like crying all of this more
Oh
shit
yeah.
for weeks
I know
because,
exactly how you felt. Yeah.
oh my
You were
God,
with
like,
someone else and feeling all that stuff first, and then yeah, and then it's like, how is this? Our journeys were very similar.
dude, which I love. I love the
And you're
timing
not
of,
crazy. I just want this to be more of a conversation
yeah.
because we're not crazy. We were talking a little bit before we started recording, and one of the things I was saying was that in my work, the clients that I get are people who are already intuitive, who have already had like communication with their spirit babies, who like have already arrived at the like, yes, mediumship is magic, yes, mediumship is real. And like, if I can communicate with past loved ones across the veil, why wouldn't I be able to communicate with, my future child? Like, it's all part of the same cycle, it's just a different point. And
Yeah.
what I explained is there is an actual spirit baby realm, which kind of surrounds all matter. I think I'm trying to figure out, I feel like it's fucking dark matter, to be honest. I feel like it's all around us. Like, that's literally the cosmic womb. But there is a spirit baby realm where you go before you incarnate, and you're just like completely filled and in with unconditional love. And that unconditional love is actually what makes us forget our prior lifetimes so that we can go and we can fully experience what we need to experience from like a fresh start. But it's you and your soul. So you always have that same like imprint. Um, so it's like a whole thing. I'm just expanding people's understanding of spirit and how that can manifest and what that can look like. And for people who maybe don't love the words cosmic womb, okay, a spirit baby realm that works for you too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Find what works for
I
you,
personally
because
love, yeah, that's just what I call it because that's in my guided meditations. When I go there, I just feel very, very held. And one of the things that I put out a womb healing meditation too, that takes you to the spirit baby realm for some like womb healing. But you can also just go there and just absorb the unconditional love that you get before your lifetime if you need that. It's free. It's in the link in my link tree. Anyone that wants to do that, I love feedback. If it was helpful, let me know. If
uh
not, also let me know. Like again, authenticity. Always
yeah.
want to know.
Yeah. Speaking truth. Um, no, I'm definitely gonna do that. I saw that on your link tree, and we can even link it under this episode just to make it super
Oh,
easy for
cool.
anybody who wants to go and soak
Yeah,
up some unconditional
please.
love. Awesome. Who doesn't need more of that? It's not always an abundance of
Mhm.
places we can get that here in the 3D world. So thank you for creating that and sharing it.
Yeah.
Um, I hope you are enjoying this episode even a fraction as much as I enjoyed recording it with Kimmie. don't forget, there are links in the description box to go and check out her offerings, her free womb healing meditation, enter her world, and soak up some of the magic that she offers. Incredible. And if you would like to support this work and this channel, Owning Authenticity, you can leave a like on this video. If you found even 1 ounce of magic here in this conversation, and forward it to anybody that you know who has either met a lover in the astral realm or has made preconception communication contact with their spirit baby, so that they know that they're not alone and that this is a real thing. I've only met one other person in real life who has had this experience, and meeting them, it felt like, wait, I'm not crazy. Wait, I'm not crazy. It was such an affirming experience to know that other people are having these experiences as well. So in addition to liking the video, forward it to anybody who you think has had this experience. And if you really want to show your support for my work, you can hop on my mailing list. The link is in the description box. You visit owningauthenticity.com/email list. I never ever sell your information. It's only for receiving notifications on what I am offering here in the Owning Authenticity community. There are free live events. There's other stuff going on. I send random stories through there sometimes. All kinds of good stuff. I thank you so much for being here, for hanging out with me, and for everything that you are doing to own your own authenticity. Please know that that is a world-changing thing that is brought on one individual at a time. So thank you for every ounce of that work you are doing in your own life. And now back to the conversation. Oh, I
I
just
want to
have
hear
to
more
pause
about
and
your
say,
spirit baby. Oh
I
yeah, go
love
ahead.
this. I love this so much. Like, talk about inner
Me
abundance,
too.
okay? That's so good. Oh, so okay, I want to tell you about the second time I met her.
Please.
Okay, you're gonna love this. The second thing she told me was, so you know that guy that you've been sleeping with in the astral? That's my dad.
Mhm.
And just
Yep.
like I chose you, I chose him.
She took them.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a soul contract. So yeah, what I'm hearing is soul contract. So when what that looks like is the three of you came together before you incarnated and said, hey, this is what we're gonna do. You just mapped out a little outline. There's like really just outlines. It's not as detailed as people think because it's everybody has free will. Like there's just thoughts and outlines that we're gonna meet here around this time in this way, whatever. And a lot of times with like your people, your soulmate, there you agree on like a tell or a thing that lets you know that it's them too. And don't feel bad if he doesn't have that. Because I had that with my partner. I feel like sometimes women just know before men, like that that's their person. Men aren't always like able to intuit that. They're
Mm,
kind of conditioned to be kind of turned off to their intuition, so they don't always know right away.
mm,
But
mm,
but I think your dude's gonna know.
mm.
He's gonna know.
Dude. Well, and like I've
Yeah, I
definitely
felt him.
downloaded some pieces of like who he is. But like yeah,
Hmm.
I haven't met his human form yet. I don't know who he is
So she
physically.
shared identifiable markers with you, which is like another thing that you can ask your spirit baby for about their
Mm,
other chosen parent. Some
mm,
spirit babies don't, that sometimes they only choose a mom, sometimes they only choose a dad, and then, they choose the other parent with, like, along with you throughout your journey.
mm. This is so fascinating. And I love how it all goes back to like there's not just one way, right? Like there's all of these different options and possibilities, and like everybody's on their own unique journey. So,
I
like,
feel like I should speak to the hitchhiker thing too.
okay.
Some spirit baby mediums call them hitchhikers, but like, so I had one client who attracted her spirit baby because they had originally chosen her best friend. And then her best friend just said, I'm going to be childless and I'm not going to do that. And so basically, the closest thing they could get to that best friend was like her bestie. So they were like, they chose her. So yeah, never underestimate the power of a vibe.
The power of a vibe. Oh my gosh. Well, and like, dude, when So like here I am in early 2023 and I now know both of them like by soul and
Mhm.
I am
And it's
still
an energy too. Like you feel her energy. And
yes.
what I try to explain to people is you might not get some like full image, clairvoyant image in your mind. You might just get a feeling. You might just feel like their energy is in the room with you. You might just, what you're picking up on is a temperament and it's a vibe.
Mm,
And like
mm,
for me, in my, a lot of my readings, I do this, I have like a music oracle deck that I love for my spirit babies because it tells me so much about their personality. This is for one of my
mm,
readings later. Prince energy. He
mm.
literally told me Prince energy, and then I pulled this freaking card. They can't make that shit up.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Oh, I love it.
and then like this dude is gonna be so cool. Freddie Mercury, Jimi Hendrix, like, and this
Yeah.
is, and I love just being able to give that vibe to a parent. And the music oracle really, really helps because
Yeah.
it's like we get down to music shows you people's soul, man.
Yes. Yes. 100%. Oh my gosh. I can't wait for my reading. So excited for that. Um,
I will definitely pull those cards.
oh, thank you.
And
Oh,
I feel like you do. Your man has a boy attached, or yeah, your man has a boy. And I felt that initially when you were first starting to talk because I felt like it is your spirit baby, but it also is his. Like, and men, that's a whole other thing. Men have spirit babies too. Sometimes that soul will choose the dad and go, hey, I don't, like my son chose me. He made a soul contract with my partner and then chose me. And he was like, that's my mom. And he brought us together.
dude. Well,
And he's like, he's also my spirit baby, but he's also my partner's. So the little
yeah.
boy is also your spirit baby. I know, I just blew your mind. You're like, oh shit, over conceptualizing
Well,
a whole other
I'm
child.
remembering that this was like a long time ago and I didn't stay in contact with this one, but this was like back in 2017. I was in meditation a few different times and there was this baby boy and he was so happy to see me. And that was back when I thought like, okay, I am going to have kids and like whatever. And then I came to the conclusion, like, I'm not going to do it. Like, just that's not for me. And now that you're saying that, like, that's like bringing that back in as far as like, huh.
You second guessed that, huh? You were like, oh, I just saw a little boy. Like, no, he's yours too.
Oh,
And then hearing Michael, I think that he will have a close relationship with Archangel Michael.
and who is that?
Archangel Michael. So Archangel Michael is an archangel who is so he can go all levels. He can go to the deepest, darkest, and the highest high. So, and he primarily is like, they call him like, not to get fussy, but he's like a demon slayer, basically.
Mm,
And he can go anywhere. He can send people to protect you on any level.
mm,
But
that's
he's like a
fascinating.
really huge protection archangel.
Wow.
And he was it's funny, like my first archangel, um, the first one that I really worked with. And yeah, so he's had a lot of, yeah, I feel like he's had a lot of lifetimes more in like the deeper, darker realm of learning the human experience. And he's ready to have a life that is much lighter and much more love, where he can really, really just play and be a freaking kid.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that there was a lot of poverty and a lot of like dust bowl, seeing the dust bowl,
Mm,
a lot of like food insecurity. So
mm,
he might actually, yeah, when you get to the time where you're introducing solace with him, if you do baby led weaning and you do whatever, um, and I don't feel like you'll ever be this way, but one of his things will be don't ever push him to finish everything on his plate. I feel like you're gonna need to convince dad of this more. You're gonna be totally fine. Dad's gonna have to work on don't push him to finish his food. He needs to feel like he has agency and control over his food and his portioning and his meals just because of that prior food insecurity. And that was consistent in a lot of those lifetimes. So,
mm.
but he loves food. I feel like he really wants to completely reestablish a new relationship with food and with inner fucking abundance. Damn,
Well, he picked the right
that's how I
mama
fucking.
because Dude, food's
He
my
really did.
favorite fucking thing.
Same.
My
Yeah.
my most favorite form of
Oh,
abundance is yummy food. And as much as you want, dude, like fill your tummy to
absolutely.
that nice full and want to
Mm.
go snuggle in for a nap, like a
Oh, he
baby.
will. I can see him in his happy baby tummy. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh
funny.
my God. And you know what? That's going to make those first bites even sweeter because you're going to be giving him that and starting his relationship with food completely over. Oh, and
Mm,
oh my God, and being able to like breastfeed him and all of that. Ah, that's going to be really huge.
dude,
Dang.
this is wild.
Yeah, my
Oh,
job is crazy. I love it though.
I love
Like,
it too. This is like the timing of it is just so wild because like you said, like you don't always see their face. Like sometimes you just see their energy. With
or
him,
you hear things. Yeah,
I saw his face like the first time I met him.
clairvoyant.
And with her, I heard her. She said, "Hi,
Heard her.
mama."
That's
And she talked to
clear
me.
audience. Hmm.
And
Yep.
last night in my dream, for the first time, I saw her face. Like last night, like literally hours before you and I
Mama.
are supposed to like have
So
this conversation.
she was like, I'm gonna formally introduce myself. That's so
Oh
cute.
my God. She was like one and she was crawling. I don't know. It's that how old babies are when they crawl. It's like one-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's like a little ways away from me and she sees me and her whole face just lit up and she crawled as fast as she could to like get over to me. And that happened like 5 or 6 times during the dream. Like she just kept like seeing me and crawling at me like as fast as she could. And I just was like,
Oh my goodness.
never felt so freaking happy in my whole life as like this little baby
Yeah.
like is so excited to see me. I'm like,
Yep.
it's just wild.
It's the wildest thing. Yeah.
Oh, because this isn't like I was gonna say, like, this isn't me. Like, this is like, it's been such a journey for almost 2 years to like trust all of this. And actually, like,
Yeah.
so 2022 was my year of inner abundance. 2023 was my year of spiritual support because I was like freaked the fuck out after meeting the lover in the astral realm. And so I call in, like, I
Hmm.
need more spiritual support. And that's when I met her. And then it brought me to 2024 as my year of trust. Like I want to trust. I want to trust that all of this is real. I
Hmm.
want to trust that I can be with this, that like I'm not gonna
Hmm.
mess it up, that like on and on and on. Like it's
Yeah.
been such a journey. Such a
You're
journey.
not gonna mess it up. And sometimes it's like we judge ourselves as parents for the ways in which like we do inevitably fuck up. But I'm just letting you know, everyone inevitably fucks up. It's all about that repair.
I was just
Sometimes
thinking the same thing. I want to go
the ways
back
in
to
which we
that.
fuck up, we're kind of supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah, I wrote it down because I was like, oh, we need to go back to repair. Like, and it reminds me, like, I had a moment with her where, like, I was repairing my relationship with my cat because I accidentally
Mhm.
stepped on his arm because I wasn't paying attention.
Oh yeah.
And I sat down, like, in the moment. He ran away and he, like, took minutes to come back because he was, like, so scared of me after that. And I just kept telling him,
Oh,
like, I'm so sorry, buddy. I wasn't paying attention. And, like, I sat there until he felt safe to come back over to me. And then he got on my lap and he's purring and all of that. And she was like, see,
no.
that's all you got to do. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, it's not about not messing up. It's about what do you do when you realize you just scared them away? You know, like it's going to take a minute for them to feel safe to like come back over to you, but like they will. It's okay.
Yep. And you just gotta be nurturing and loving when they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
want to turn them, like with my parents' generation, it was very much the like, I'll give you something to cry about generation where they were both physically, hit by their parents. Yeah, I mean, I was too. My mom didn't want to hit us. My mom, I will say, my mom maybe like backhanded me once or twice, but she didn't hit us. My dad definitely. And I
Oh.
just feel like that generation has so much of that ick and that yuck and not knowing how to repair. And like, I know for like my dad, he never got repair. We stayed once at my grandma's house. She was very Eastern European, very Latvian. Post World War II, moved to the United States, was very bitter that she had to leave her country. Um, and we stayed one night at her house. And I remember she made me cry horribly. I ran off and it felt like I was gone for hours. I was only like 4 maybe. And I just remember thinking, is she ever gonna come soothe me? She never came. I eventually came back out and she goes, "You done?" I was horrified. I'd never been treated like that. I was like, "Excuse me, wait till my mom hears about this." But my mom didn't want us to go stay because my mom knew. But her therapist was like, "Let them go once. They're gonna fucking hate it and they're never gonna go back."
Yeah.
She was right. But I got a glimpse of what that's like. And
Mm,
I that's not my experience. My mom is very validating and loving.
mm.
She's open and learning stuff too about psychology, but it was never the like never like that. No.
Yeah.
I was shocked as a small child that I wasn't gonna get sued. You know, my brother
Yeah.
sadly probably had to do it. He's 3 years older than me, so he probably was like, "Come here, Kimber."
Oh, that's precious.
It
Oh.
is, but I feel bad. He was definitely over parentified. It's like an older sibling thing where they end up
Mm.
kind of being your
Yeah.
parent when your parents are unavailable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's wild.
yeah,
I'm the oldest and there's a lot of people around the community that are also the oldest. And so parentification definitely comes up in our
and that seems to be a
conversations.
theme in a lot of folks who make the choice to be childless too, which I totally respect, by the way.
Yeah.
Like just because of my job, like again as a medium, like I feel into people's stuff, and I've felt that in people's readings who used to feel that way, that they didn't want to be a parent.
Hmm.
I even had like a brief time like that where I was really rebellious in my teenage years, and I was like, "Fuck it, I don't want to be a kid." I was just really, really hurt and really, really broken,
Hmm.
and I felt like I was projecting my own inner pain into like not wanting to be
Yeah. I
because I
mean,
didn't want to.
I even said, like, I've already raised 3 kids. I don't need any other kids. Like, I already did that. I already did the
And
parent
hey,
thing.
that's fair enough. That's
Yeah.
fair fucking enough.
Uh,
Like sometimes that's people's path too, is like maybe you're not exactly someone's mother, but you do come into this life as another parental role.
yeah.
That maybe that's something that you like, that could have been a soul contract too.
It's all
That could have
valid.
been, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So
However,
crazy. So,
oh,
oh,
go
go ahead,
ahead.
Mom.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say that yeah, I it's so validating for me to every time to connect with someone who goes, "Hey, I didn't have the language to explain what you're talking about and what you do, but once we give people that language, they're like, holy shit, my spirit baby, that makes so much fucking sense."
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like just starting this conversation of like, have you felt and communicated with your future children? Because that's possible. And for
Hmm.
more intuitive people who maybe haven't even thought of that yet, like I don't want anyone to feel bad about it either. Like you can be the most intuitive person ever and just not have had that come up for you yet. And then once you lean into it, you can get these different tools to connect.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be meditation too, because like not everybody can meditate. And like I do want to be real that I find for myself meditation to be one of the most powerful tools, but it's not the only tool.
Yeah.
It's really not.
Well, and
And
like,
that's why you can journal too. Like I have
mhm.
Spirit Baby I do have meditation prompts that I packaged with my like journal prompts too. But the journal prompts for writers who kind of tend to think out through writing, like that's
Mhm.
also me.
Mhm.
Um, then those are really, really helpful for you to just get more clear on like
Yeah.
what you want with your spirit baby.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of
Mm.
different ways to connect. Some people find that in the bath, they can really easily connect, or they'll do like my guided meditation in the bath. They'll have it playing. And then getting in the water really, really helps because it is kind of a water element to the spirit baby realm.
Sure.
Another really powerful tool that I like to share is sex magic. You don't have to have your partner. I have like a whole ebook about it too, which has different stuff going into like solo practices, couple practices. But it's just a lot of ideas for how you can do that. But the most simple thing to start with is just candle magic. One candle, light it before you're gonna, envelop yourself in pleasure, whatever you're going to do, um, for your own solo sex magic. And you can say it out loud when you're lighting your candle, what your intention is for what you're calling in, because you're going to be calling in your spirit baby. And so you light that candle, you do what you're going to do, and then you blow it out when you're done. And you're feeling that really intense orgasm just completely envelop you. And you visualize what you're calling in. And my go to is just to visualize yourself holding that baby, that
Hmm.
first initial moment where you just get to hold your baby. It doesn't
Hmm.
even have to be the first time, it can be like where you're just rocking them later
Hmm.
and just snuggling up to them.
Hmm.
Or looking down at your pregnant belly and just
Hmm.
feeling really, really like whole and full and pregnant. Um, any of that, like whatever honestly comes to mind for
Yeah.
whatever you envision parenting will look like for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you visualize that like essentially during the orgasm and like let the
You can do it after.
mm,
So yeah, you just state your intention, what you're calling in. You know, I'm calling in my spirit baby, and or in my spirit baby, their parent that they chose, calling them in. I want to quicken the pace. I'm ready. So whatever needs to happen in order to make that happen, I'm calling that in. Light the candle, do your do. And then once you're really feeling, I'd like to honestly go to do like, because we're women, and we can orgasm multiple times. Don't go on the first one and get a lot of power and a lot of energy in that orgasm, like
mm,
5, 6 orgasms. And then
mm,
once you're feeling like you can just feel how palpable that orgasm is in your field, that's when you blow that candle out, when you're
mm,
really feeling the potency of that. And then just close your eyes and just visualize that and try to connect with one sensory sense in whatever you're, like, maybe it's smelling your baby's sweet baby smell on their head, or maybe it's smooching them and you can just feel their soft little skin, or like skin to skin contact, or just you can hear your partner seeing them to sleep in the other room, something like
mm,
that. But you
mm.
want to use the sensory stuff too.
Yeah, to like really feel it in your body. Like it's happening right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I'm
And
gonna
then the
try
other thing that
that.
I shared with you before we started recording, is what I like to call hearts on fire, where you can sit down and I like to do a couple of, like, a little breath work where you just 3 short inhales and then longer exhales so that you calm your nervous system basically until you yawn. That's how you know that you're calm. And to just kind of ground yourself, get into meditation. And if you've already received any information, any identifiers about this partner, it's fine if you're starting at 0 if you don't have anything, but you can just close your eyes and envision what that's going to feel like with them, and just try to put yourself in the position of just being with them, holding their hands, kissing them, anything, any kind of intimacy that like you really align with, or feels natural for you in that connection, and to just picture unconditional love. And this is coming from the highest high source. So we're not draining our energy sources. You want to ground too and connect to the highest source. But then we're just sending unconditional love through our hands into theirs or their body as we're holding them. And you can do that like at least once a week, and it should quicken the
Mm,
pace. But you'll
mm.
probably have more and more dreams about him.
Yeah. Well, and since I started like consciously projecting myself to them, I mean, I've had like maybe 2 or 3 dreams about them since then, but consciously, like you're
I think
talking
you're
about, like
transmuting more to him and he's
I,
receiving now more.
I send him love all the time. I'm like, I love you. Just like I
Oh,
picture it like wrapping around him and just like him feeling
oh,
it, and anybody
yes.
that can come and like physically deliver it on my behalf, like shower him with
Oh,
that feeling. Like, so I've been
I
doing
love
that
it.
for quite
You've
a
already been
while.
doing it.
Yeah,
Yes, and
I
that's
do
perfect.
love him even in
That's
his
a perfect tool.
absence, like it's been so interesting to have such a almost 2 years of like being in relationship with his spirit and like
And
not
this is
knowing.
also common. I
Yeah.
also want to share that this experience that you're having with this partner is also very fucking common. And I
Mm,
see it in the work that I do. where it's like they already know, they've already felt him. They'll come to me and I'll be like, you know, you have this man. And they're like, yep, I know. And I'll describe him and they're like, that's him. Like exactly what happened. Like handsome, big dude for you. Like just gonna just hold you,
Yeah.
envelop you, teddy bear kind of guy. Um, and we'll connect on that. And it's like, holy shit, a lot of times they just need that validated of like, you're not fucking crazy. Like,
Mm.
so before, so when I was talking to my now partner, um, we had been friends before and we were talking, we and kind of building this relationship more romantically for like a year. And he was supposed to come visit me, and then after that, I just was like, whatever. And I didn't really take him seriously, because I'm very like believe in people's actions. I didn't know him as well. He's such an anxious little being. Like he just was too anxious to get on the plane. And that makes sense now, but at the time I was like, yeah, whatever. If he wanted to, he would. He'd be here. Um, and I already knew though. And so after that, my bestie and I had this experience where we both just had this, it's called a claircognizance, where it's a clear knowing, where she was just like, there's something about him. Like we both knew. She was like, you just, it's him, right? It's him. And I
Yeah.
was like, I know, isn't it? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll take him seriously. But it had to be my bestie being like, she's incredibly intuitive. She was like,
Mm.
that's like your dude. And I was like, oh, it is. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Mm.
But I had been feeling that for so long. Like I remember like almost feeling guilty that like I wasn't trying to like him or anything. He's just when we connected before and we were friends, it was always like, because I was like, why do I like him? Oh, I'm trying to like not engage in that way because we're both
Yeah.
photographers. And so we were just like talking about each other's photography and totally above the board, like professional before any of that. But I remember trying to like hold back that feeling of like, and I just thought
Mm.
that it was just my physical attraction, but it's because that he's my dude.
He's
So,
my dude. Oh my gosh. Oh, the timing
so
of
let's just
this
validate that too.
is
Like that's a
incredible.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And so much of my like don't want to mess it up patterning from like my past relationships have been like just really, it sounds so attractive, but like really clingy and possessive of my romantic
Yeah.
partner.
Hmm.
And so in almost 2 years of being in relationship with his higher self,
Hmm.
like so much of that has purified out of my system as far as like, no, he's with me all the time. Like there's no need to
Yeah.
possess his physical form. There's no need to like cling and hang on to like his personal time. Like I'm
Yeah.
connected to him always. And it also like
Yeah.
trust is difficult. Obviously, I named my whole 2024 the year of trust. Trust
Yeah.
can be very difficult for me. And getting to know his spirit has also like helped me to trust
Trust
him
him.
and feel safe with him in a way
Hmm.
that transcends his like physical
Physical
expression, his
expression.
physical behavior. Like,
Yep.
yeah, that's secondary to like I trust his higher self. I trust like
Absolutely.
his soul. And
Yeah.
that is also something that has like never been a thing for me before. And so it feels really deliberate that it's taken
Yeah.
the time that it has. And also the divine timing of like, we can try to call it in and try to call it in and try to call it in. And if it's not
But that's
time,
also, yeah.
if the path hasn't like connected yet, like
Hmm.
that's okay. It just like isn't time yet, you
Yeah.
know? And I have this like sneaking suspicion that like I know where he is.
Tell
And
me. Or you don't have to, but
well, so I'm traveling here in
you
like
can
two
also tell me
weeks.
later too.
Yes. Okay. Well, I might tell you some more details about it, but like it's
Okay.
also interesting because when I'm traveling in 2 weeks is when this episode is going to air. And so if I'm right, I will have possibly met him by the time this episode airs. So like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, but this trip, it's like dripping in divine timing and
Who do
alignment.
you know in
And
Ottawa? What I keep hearing
I
Ottawa.
don't, I don't know.
That's Canada, right?
There is a Canada. There's also an Ottawa, Kansas that's like
Okay.
super close by where I am. But
Oh shit.
yeah,
Okay,
interesting.
because I heard that earlier, and I just, again, even as a medium, I still second guess myself, and I'm like, okay, that's just somebody coming through to yell Ottawa. Like, and honestly, it's a medium, Ottawa. Like, people can just come through and yell
Yelling
their
stuff.
city, yeah,
Oh,
and then
that's
like move
funny.
on. So it's like, I just,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
okay, well, I
Dude,
just wanted
this
to throw that
this
out there. Okay,
thank you. And maybe that's a message and confirmation for somebody listening, like maybe that's like
true.
filtering on
I
through.
know it could honestly be for someone else too. We don't know. Like, and that's the thing about this is shit might come through for, yeah,
Dude, maybe that's
somebody
another
else's
like
ancestor could be yelling Ottawa.
maybe that's his hometown or like where his parents from and he's gonna mention it to me like in the first date. Like you
And you're
don't
going to be like,
know. Like,
I
hello.
also wanted to share um, that when you were talking about your things, and I so thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing
Mm.
like your how you've been in past relationships, because I think it's as women we kind of like hide that sometimes. Like I also have dealt with trust and things like that, and I think, and I also am a queer woman who's also been with women and was with a woman before my current partner, and it has a hard time trusting men. And so I
Yeah.
feel like part of why that clear cognizance, that clear knowing, and all we have, you and I personally have had so many affirmations about these men is so that we know that we can, that that's our person.
Yeah.
Because there's still, I want you to know there might still be times where you question your own self. But that's your dude. If you need me to come back and yell Ottawa and like, that's your dude, like, I'll do it. That's your dude. But you're human. And I just want to state that
Oh,
there isn't always like a smooth transition of like their soul into their humanness. And he's
yeah.
going to be so human when you meet him too. But just know that like, let him present his like human part to you too, because you're meeting his soul now. But he
Yeah.
will be a messy, complicated human with stuff that
Yeah.
but very lovable. Oh my God. He's so
Yeah.
fucking lovable. His
Yeah.
energy. This man is gonna like, I see him literally, what is the word? I can't even think of the word, where someone's like, where they try to run so fast to get to you to like help you that they like
Mhm.
almost kind of fall under their feet, where this man just wants to help you and to bring you something that you need. And he almost is
Mm.
like, he's like running.
Mm.
Like that's his energy. It's his support. It's like, I just want to give her all
Yeah.
the love and support that this wonderful fucking woman deserves.
Yeah.
And like for him, oh my God, yeah, his heart is just almost going to break when he kind of hears the things that you have experienced. And this
Yeah.
man is just going to want to be like the human embodiment of a bomb
Yeah.
to all of that. But he'll also be fucking human and have some shit that's
Mm.
going to annoy you. He's a man. And it's like, you better have respect for the fact that you're a queer woman, which means like, yes, we could have chosen a beautiful woman over like a smelly dude. But
Yeah. Dude.
well, we didn't.
But
So
well, and like meeting up with him in the astral, it was like undeniable. It's like just
yeah,
undeniable the rightness of it. And
yeah.
like what you're saying matches what I've received and how like
That's just my Scorpio rising being like, let me just also let it be real for you too.
mm,
Like,
I love it. Like having it said back to me without like, I mean, you don't know. You don't even know me, and you're just like telling
yeah,
me all the things. And I'm just like, thank you. Thank you for these confirmations because, and again, I think it's because it is so close. It's like he's like right there. Like I can almost
it's
smell
really
him.
fucking close.
It's really
Again with
close.
the Ottawa. Oh my God, it's yelling Ottawa. Okay.
That's so weird.
That's for you. Yeah, I don't know.
I love it. Okay, well, I'll take it. I'll put it in the file of all the things. Um, but yeah, part of the extended timeline has been how powerfully he can love and support me and how
Mhm.
I wasn't ready for that. Like one of my
Yeah,
adaptive behaviors, like one of my trauma responses is I'm hyper independent.
yeah,
Like I
that's
I'm
relatable.
good.
Yeah,
I
we've been
don't
disappointed. We don't want to be again, you
yeah,
know?
I don't need your support. Like I don't know that love, it's not even real. Like Dude, I'm so skeptical over here. And so it's
And you
taken this
still will run
long.
into that with him, but he's just gonna be there and he's gonna be like, well, I'll just be here loving you. So
Yeah.
in time you'll see. And that's honestly kind of it's interesting how similar our journeys are, because that's kind of
Mm,
also the vibe with me and my partner. He's like, no, I love
mm.
you and I'm actually not going anywhere. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, from yeah.
So it's taken time to like soften and open and like even learn how to be feminine and like be a
Mhm.
receiver. Like that
Yeah,
is just
amen.
I'm practicing. Like it's
Yeah.
challenging somewhat and
Also, your daughter's gonna help you with that too. She's willing to help you
mm,
right now. She's gonna be, yeah. It's funny because her energy itself is very like balanced to me of like masculine, feminine, of like her inner, but then her expressions, her creative expression and her like clothing expressions, I see as a little more feminine.
mhm, mm,
So I feel like even in that, she's going to be kind of playing around with what does it that feel like embodying that energy, and you're going to see that. And I feel like you guys are going to do a lot of mirroring, where you're
mhm,
really going to help each other with similar things. And I want you to know it's okay if sometimes you feel like a kid too,
mm.
and like you're learning the
Yeah.
same thing with her. Like that's okay.
Yeah. 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 I feel like she's like my little teacher. Like I have
You're going to be
so
such a
much to
good
love
fucking
from
mom. I
her.
just gotta say that.
Oh,
Your
dude.
kids are going to feel really fucking safe with you to be who they are.
Oh,
And that's such a fucking gift, Carly. Like,
oh. Dude, the tears, they're gonna come.
oh, go ahead. Yeah,
I
happy
know.
tears.
It's
Like,
oh,
so that's also, I talk about it in my sex magic ebook, but happy tears are a really powerful manifestation point. So just in this, I feel like they're so potent. I just want to take a second for you to close your eyes and to just picture that moment of either holding her, whatever feels natural for you. And let those
yeah,
tears flow, those happy
yeah,
tears.
yeah.
Orgasms and happy tears, most potent manifesting
Right?
tools.
Bliss machines. Mm.
Mm.
I did this in a meditation this morning and like was revisualizing her like face when she sees me and her crawling towards me and she just like lighting up and I felt like my heart like broke open and I sat
Yeah.
there and like laugh cried for like 15 minutes and it was oh God, it was so good. It was like 15 orgasms like all in one. Like
Oh my
so
gosh.
good
Yeah. It's
fun.
like a heart orgasm,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So yeah, your
So
magnetic
good.
field actually expands when you have a
Mhm.
child, because your heart space, that magnetic field is already so large, but that's how you connect to your child too, and like
Mm.
their auric field.
Mm.
So whenever you're feeling like, God, I just really want her already, like where is she? You can just return to that, and she's
Yeah.
already, and she's here. But
Yeah.
like you said, it's divine timing. So sometimes like what I find for people like me that can be more like ADHD and like more anxious and like need something to do, idle hand, but more like idle brain kind of
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Those like the Hearts on Fire exercise that I did with you, or like the meditations and stuff, that can be a really good way to like just kind of quiet that
Mm.
longing, because what we're really looking forward to is just connecting with them, and we can do that right now.
Right. 100%. Yes. Yes. And it truly has healed a lot of like, yeah, my tendency towards control or like needing to know and needing to be in control at all times. And it's like connecting with their soul. We're like, dude, like he's physical, she's not. Like, they're not in my physical reality, but like all is well. Like, it's still good. It's all good. And like, I needed that.
Oh, your little boy, he's so sweet. He's like, can she like invite me into her field too?
Oh,
Oh,
oh, dude, I can still see his face. It's like burned in my
he's
brain.
so cute. He's so freaking cute. I
Oh,
saw your daughter too when we were doing your happy tears moment, where I saw her in a little witch hat. She was like 5 or 6. Oh my God, yeah. And with what we talked about before, holy,
Oh, she's magical.
that's gonna be healing. That's
Yeah.
literally healing.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna go and work the magic in her, like in this day and age, being able to dress up as a witch and go from door to door and get candy and praise for being
Mm,
dressed. Like that's gonna be in itself healing for her.
mm, mm.
Do it when she's old enough to kind of understand, like 6, 7, maybe when
Yeah.
she's like, so it could be a core memory for her. If she's too little, she might not fully integrate
Yeah.
that. But whew, is it okay for me to share a little bit
About,
just about that a lot of souls are coming back into this time from a very from a time when women um, were burned from the burning times, as a
mm,
lot of witches will call them. Is that okay for me to?
hmm hmm
So Carly's daughter had a past life where she was very mistreated and was, yeah, she didn't actually get a trial, but she was technically tried as a witch. And this is something that's coming up a lot in my readings recently. We're getting so many of these souls who, like myself, have, a life where we were killed for being a witch. And
mm,
we're all coming back right the fuck now. It's a really powerful time. A lot of us have already come back and are like being able to bring other people through who've also had that experience. But I feel like we're just reclaiming our fucking power.
mm,
It's just a thing that I noticed, and I think that's really fucking cool because
mm.
nobody's getting, burned now. That's not what's happening. You can literally dress up as a witch on Halloween, walk door to door, and get praise and candy.
You can dress like a witch all the freaking
Oh,
time.
please do. Yes,
Right?
it needs to
Like,
be
oh my
known.
God.
Yes, please.
That's okay. This is, a note for the end of the podcast. Why not? Like, that's how we met. That's how Kimberly and I met, is we were both guests. Like the very first podcast either one of us ever got invited to be on was called Waking Up the Witch.
Yep,
Waking Up the Witch is a
it's a
podcast
really
that
great
just,
podcast.
oh my
Yeah,
God, Amber and Taylor, amazing. Like that they created this. And
definitely.
then Kimberly and I's episodes were like only a couple apart. So
Yeah.
like just the timing of all of this coming together, like and everything that brought it together for me to be sitting here talking to you, like
That's
little mini
amazing.
heart orgasm. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Seriously.
Amazing.
Yeah, I love this work. And
Mm,
I really feel like a huge part of my path is to just let people know that like they can communicate with their kids before they're born. It's called preconception communication. There's
yeah.
tons of different ways to do it. And even my way, if somebody was listening to this and was like, you know what, I'm interested in that, but maybe not from her. Cool. Google it, learn about it. Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
there's so many different teachers, different ways and methodologies to do it. But yeah, it's a really, really cool concept that a
Mm,
lot of people are learning about. And I think that that's going to just really elevate our whole human consciousness of understanding like the other part. Because mediumship has been around for so long. And a lot of times in mediumship work, like kids will come through. I've had other mediums send people my way because they've been like, hey, I saw a boy on your lap. You should, get a spirit baby reading for Kimmie so you can learn more about it.
mm,
But it's different because I also want to say one other thing that I think is so funny. Um, if I had $1 for every time somebody says that they're like, oh my God, I knew my sister-in-law was going to have a baby. Maybe I should be a spirit baby medium too. And I always have to fucking laugh because that's not necessarily what I do. That's called claircognizance. So they knew. It's a clear knowing.
uh-huh.
But my friend who's also a medium, Taylor, I love her. If anyone's looking for like just straight up medium, I think her handle is it's Taylor Brielle, Brielle, but she's a fabulous medium. Um, and also very much into authenticity. What was I saying before that? I got so excited about
The
Taylor.
like knowing your friend or your sister-in-law is gonna have a baby, like isn't the same as being a
Oh,
spirit baby medium. Not the
so I
same.
was talking to Taylor about that because you have to have medium friends that, you can talk to. And she was like, I feel like you just need to. And it's not mean to educate people that like what she's like, what you did in my reading was so much more than that, Kimmy. She's like, what you gave me was, she was like, I was thinking I would just know maybe how many kids were out there for me, a little bit about my pregnancy, maybe like a big time.
Mm.
And what I gave her was like past that, like it's so much deeper than that, but it's really
Yeah.
unique. Like I always get the very tailored way that these kids want to be communicated with. Like
Mhm.
hold for one of my readings, she wants her mom to hold an amethyst when she talks to her. She also requested a spirit baby altar, which is a whole other thing. I'm creating. I still need to finish it, but like another ebook on how to do that and just like helpful tips and whatnot. But you can even create like a spirit baby altar.
Yeah.
But they get very specific in the readings, and it's like it's so much more than that. It's also your guardian angels, who I call your heavy hitters
Oh,
um, that protect and walk your spirit baby earth side. And those
yeah.
are often like family members who have passed. Sometimes it'll surprise you because it's somebody that maybe like you didn't really fuck with that much. It's like an aunt
Mm.
or an uncle, and you're like, yeah, they were crabby. But once you get to know their soul self, like they're
Mhm.
so much different and it's completely in service, like you and your spirit baby. It's like a whole
Mm.
I've come across that in readings where it's like they had to like reintroduce some like aunt or uncle's energy, to be like, because at
Yeah.
first they were like, oh, but most of the time it's like a beloved grandma. Most of the
Yeah.
time, grandmas get shit done now. Nobody gets shit done for their spirit babies and their future grandbabies and great grandbabies like a goddamn grandma.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I
Oh,
love it.
oh, this is, oh, this has been amazing. And we're at the end of our time.
I know you're great. I
And
know you're so great. I
I
had so
want
much
to
fun.
invite you. Is there anything left on your heart, on your mind, on your soul that you want to add
Mm,
on like a cherry on top of this conversation for anybody who's still listening?
mm. Just that you can do it, just that you can
Mhm.
communicate with your spirit baby. And if you feel like you have one, you probably do. A lot of times people are scared that maybe they don't have one. If you want
Mhm.
a child, what you seek is seeking you. Guaranteed you have at least one that wants you back. If you've ever felt like, oh God, I feel like I have a boy, you've already probably connected with that energy. And
Mhm.
that's actually them inviting you to connect deeper.
Mhm.
And you don't have to be a psychic, you don't have to be an intuitive. But if you're listening to Carly's podcast, you probably already are.
Yeah,
Like,
totally. Totally.
so that's okay too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. What you're
And it's
seeking
very
is seeking
intuitive.
you.
What you're seeking is seeking you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want
And
them,
if you
they
need
want
more
you back.
tools, then, you can come find me, Spirit Baby Readings
Yeah.
or Spirit Baby Readings on Instagram, or Girls Just Want to Have Fungus on TikTok.
Right, because you're an herbalist as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And amateur mycologist too, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. We'll put all kinds of links in the description
Oh,
box
I love
of
it.
this
Yay.
episode,
Awesome.
just so it's super easy. If you want to make your way into Kimmie's world, oh, dude, by all means. And the free womb healing meditation, which
Oh,
also is a
yeah,
way to
absolutely.
just soak up unconditional love if you need a little bit of that in your
Please.
world.
The
What
times
is
are
it?
strange, so please just go and soak that love up. Like,
Mm. I can't wait to try that. I'm seriously probably going to do that as soon as we hang up here. So,
oh, yay. Let
Kimmie,
me know.
thank you. Oh
Thank
my
you,
God.
love.
Thank
All
you. This
right.
has been so incredible. And talk about inner abundance, talk about right on time. I am honored to have met you and had the universe bring
Oh,
you
thank
into my
you.
sphere. Thank you for everything
Oh,
that you're
thank you so
doing and
much.
sharing. It's amazing. Mm.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me come and talk about my like little world here and what I get to do. It's my honor and my privilege to be able to do this work. So thank you so much.
Mm.
All right.